Good day, folks. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. Hope things are going well in your neck of the woods. I'm curious. Willie Nelson, of course, and Keith Richards of the Stones. We had it all. It was a gift request by Bilbus Wilbury. So, Bilbus, shout out to you. Thank you for this gift. You said, Bilbus, that you stumbled upon this yesterday while doing a YouTube crawl. And which is, I've not heard that expression, a YouTube crawl. Maybe it's just scouting YouTube randomly or something like that. But yeah, when Willie pairs up with folks, it's always an experience. And Keith is funny. I saw Keith Richards doing something with Rod Stewart, and he was making fun of Rod Stewart for something. And it was pretty funny just to see the repartee and the back and forth. I don't know if that's going to happen here, but let's see. Live in L.A. All right, let's see what they've got. We had it all. Is this like a Farm Aid thing?
I can hear the wind blowing in my mind, just the way it used to do. Through the Georgia pines, yeah, you were there to answer when I called. You and me, Lord knows we had it all.
Remember how I used to touch your hair, baby, looking for the feeling. It was always there. You're the best thing in my life I can recall. Yeah, baby, you and me, we had it all.
I know that we can never live those times again,
And I get all those feelings, and I'll be there back again.
and I'll stay with you, girl, just as long as I can.
'Cause it was so good.
Well, it was so good,
you know. Yes, it was so good when I was your man.
I forgot I was doing a reaction. My gosh, I was so intrigued. Enthralled is a word I like to use. These two playing with each other. This is a really good find, Bilbus. Willie's hair.
I'll never stop believing in your smile, even though you didn't stay. It was all worthwhile.
But I know that you would leave it, have it all, baby. It's you and me, we had it all.
You and me, we had it all.
You and me, we had it all.
I can relate to this.
One love, one love.
Different people have different ideas of what it all is. And I can relate to this because that's still my idea. And those of you who follow the channel know I talk about my own personal life sometimes. I don't overdo it, but I can relate to these songs. And this one is like, yeah. And when I got divorced, I'm like, what the heck happened? I mean, we seriously had it all. My opinion. Clearly hers was different. And so this song is like, yeah, it happens. I mean, this is kind of like, this is what happens in divorce. It generally catches one of the spouses by surprise, unless there's like cheating or beating or like this horrible fighting and all this stuff that's always going on. Then it's a surprise to nobody within the relationship or even outside it usually that things went wrong. But there are some situations you're like, it just wasn't enough for the other person, whatever they were looking for. Maybe they don't even know, maybe they do know, whatever, but it's just life on planet Earth. We value different things. And that sets the stage for our contentment. If our values are being generally reflected or upheld in our life, then whatever our preferences factor into it a lot too. Some people confuse preferences with needs. That's a problem. Because preferences are preferences. What kind of food, what kind of restaurant do you want to go to tonight? I'd like to go to Chinese. I like Italian. I'd like Indian, whatever. Those are preferences. Those aren't needs. You need to eat at some point, but what type of food you eat, that's a preference. For instance, type of ice cream. What kind of music do you listen to? All that stuff. We have our preference. What kind of car do you want to drive? Do you want to, whatever. But here, they had it all. But these two paired very well with one another. It's funny to see, Keith was more animated when he was up there playing his guitar. He was more kinesthetic. Willie just stayed right there and played. Like George Strait gets up, plays, doesn't move around a lot. Keith, having been with the Stones, obviously, that's a different experience, different type of music. Willie is really like just a big-time singer-songwriter. Big-time performer. But at his core, that's what he is. Keith is a performer. And, he had Mick and the others, but it was really the Keith and Mick show with the Stones. And I was looking at them, I'm like, man, they have performed in front of probably hundreds of millions of fans between the two of them. I mean, the Stones have been performing for like 50 years, and so they've done hundreds of millions by themselves. Willie's done that. I don't know what the numbers are. Depends on how many shows you play, but they sell out. The Stones probably sold more tickets per show. But Willie, anytime he performs, people want to see him. But between them, it's like, what careers and legends. So, Bilbus, this was a good find, man. I don't know what this was. I didn't see Farm Aid or anything behind there, so I don't know what this show was. I don't know whose show it was. It sure seemed like, it might have been a Willie's show, and Keith came and performed on a couple songs, but usually these types of collaborations are for a cause. Not always, but usually. Just my perspective on that. Jeff Cather probably knows the answer to that question. But, all right, I'm going to rate this. I'm going to rate my experience of this song. I love the meaning. It was simple. He loved to see her smile. Even though she left, he remembers that part of it. I can relate to this. But I wasn't expecting that out of Keith. I wasn't. He really sort of was a really good addition to the feel of this song. Because Willie knows songs like this. This is him. But Keith was right there with him. So my experience of this is a 9.1. So that's going in the playlist of songs of 9 and above. Man, and I just love this song. It was simple. It was just simple, and it kept the focus on the two of them, on Willie and Keith. So Bilbus, again, man, good fun. I love this. It's like we're all a bunch of detectives out there finding all this good stuff and then bringing it here. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.